Hey guys, it's Allie, and this is part 2 of the Y&R Chat vlog for Sunday, October 19th. Let's talk about the diary. Okay, Adam is officially over the edge. The guy is like a beggar now. Like, can you spare a job, a recommendation? Can I get some change? I mean, he might as well be shaking a tin cup outside of Newman Enterprises asking people for any spare change. Doesn't he realize that he is being set up? I mean, Jack is keeping his hands clean throughout this whole diary forgery thing. All of the calls, all of the meetings with the forger, they're all happening with Adam. Jack is slickly just getting out of the picture, and I can't believe that Adam is falling for it. It makes me think that Adam is nowhere near as clever or smart as maybe we gave him credit for, and certainly not as smart as he would like to think. But meanwhile, while Adam is doing all of the dirty work for Jack, he's ruining his relationship with Heather, and I hate to see that because I thought they were a pretty good couple. He's lying to her, and she's gonna catch on. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that Heather is way too good for Adam, and I mean, Jack is really in the same boat, to be honest. I think that even if he isn't tied to it directly, I think that Sharon is going to eventually see that Jack would be the perfect person to have played a role in this. I think she'll realize it and she will leave him. And I mean, the same with Heather. I mean, I think these guys are really ruining their relationships over this need to get back at Victor, and it's kind of sad. It's actually, I mean, it's really sad, to be honest. I don't know how Jack is going to explain the hotel charges, which I don't know about you, but why is that a mysterious charge? I mean, don't they have some kind of a, like, they had the credit card company called Sharon's phone to tell her that there was a mysterious charge at the Genoa City Motor Arms Hotel or whatever it is. Like, don't they have some kind of like affair alert? Like, you don't call, it's not a mysterious charge if it's a motel in the town that you live in. Like, I don't know, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Like, they should have some kind of clause, like, don't call people if they're renting motels. You don't want to blow their affair. But I don't know how Jack is gonna explain it. I think personally it would have been 10 million times better if Sharon would have drove to the hotel and seen Jack and Adam there. Yeah, that would have had tons of fun implications, I think. But, yeah. Okay. So, this is what's weird. I think it's entirely creepy the way Jack has been narrating the diary. I don't know about you guys, but I can't even watch him. I can't even look at Jack's face. It just creeps me out too much. Like, I can really only listen to what Jack is saying, because if I watch his face, it's awkward. He's doing a really good job though with the accent, and you know, he is saying things the way that Victor would say them. It's fun, and not only that, but it is giving us the ability to see probably what was actually going on in Victor's head. If anybody would know it, it probably would be Jack, like from kind of a revenge standpoint. So Jack is taking us through this narrative of what Victor may have been thinking during the whole Walter Palin thing, and it's interesting because Victor was so silent and we all didn't really know what he was doing for so long. So it's interesting to see Jack's narrative and how really truly close it is to the truth. I think that obviously Victor murdered Walter, and I mean, I think that Jack is really, really close to it, but creepy, just creepy. And even creepier is Adam sitting there watching him. Like, Jack, don't you want to be alone for this moment? Like, I don't know, do that at home in the bathroom or something. It's just awkward, like Adam sitting there staring at him while he's pretending to be his father. It's just, ugh. I mean, and again, I just can't, I keep coming back to, like, Adam, don't you know that you're a tool? Don't you know that you're such a tool right now? But I mean, honestly, I think that Adam is going to have to be the one to say something, to do the right thing once Victor is caught. I mean, he's really going to be the missing link. I think that this diary, which I don't even know who makes a diary of when they're going to murder something, because when I'm going to murder someone, I don't write it down. I just do it, and I just stash the bodies, and that's the end of it. But apparently, Victor wanted to poetically write this all down. I mean, I don't know who's going to believe that, but I mean, I don't know, I think it's going to be pretty strong evidence when they bring Victor in, when they bring him to court, and the only one who's going to have the missing piece of that puzzle is going to be Adam. So we'll see if he does the right thing. So yes, I think that Victor will eventually get caught, and I also am concerned that Nikki is putting herself into so much danger for him. I mean, this whole ruse is very risky, and I don't see how she's not going to end up facing charges with this either. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that Nikki is doing it because she loves Victor so much. There's no question. There's never been any question. Nikki loves Victor. And I mean, I guess from my perspective, I feel like love was never the problem with Nikki and Victor. Love was never the problem. Those two people always loved each other. There's always been something there. Infinitely to the end of time, beyond life, Nikki and Victor will love each other. Even as Victor is angry and all of that right now, he still loves Nikki. I think that. I think that what the problem was between those two was respect. It was always respect. I think that Victor never really respected Nikki to want to be the kind of woman that she wanted to be. I always kind of sided with Nikki on that because I felt like Nikki was constantly trying. She was always trying. All she wants to do is be her own person. And Victor never could accept that. I think Victor wanted a woman more like Hope, somebody who was more kind of meek. And Nikki wanted to fight him. But, you know, at the same time, I think that rivalry somehow did kind of intrigue Victor. But, I mean, it all boils down to, you know, watching the flashbacks of Nikki and Victor this week. You know, we saw some flashbacks as Nikki was packing up his bag at the ranch. And it's hard to watch those. I cry. Okay, the second there's a Nikki and Victor flashback, it doesn't matter if it's happy or sad, I'm in tears. It's every time. And it's always difficult to watch, but I just keep thinking that, you know, it was never about love between them. That's not the reason that the relationship didn't work. I liked to see Victor with Sabrina. I was happy with that relationship evolving, and as much as I love Nikki and Victor, I like them with other people. I think that they need to be with other people. The whole time, like during this whole, you know, it's almost like a Catch Me If You Can kind of sequence, and Victor off at the chateau. I kept thinking, I guess for the last several months I've kept thinking, does Victor just have Sabrina stashed away somewhere, like at the chateau? So that was, I mean, it was like my last hope that maybe Sabrina was still alive. I know I'm delusional, but I was really hoping that she would still be alive, but no. Unfortunately, no. Victor was at the chateau this week, sitting there looking at the picture that Sabrina once held and drinking wine, and then in a dramatic kind of surprise, he crashed the wine bottle, set the picture on fire, and lit the whole chateau on fire, burned it down. So I mean that was extremely moving. I thought that was a really great scene. It looks like from the previews he's also going to be calling Michael maybe on Monday to let him know that he's no longer going to be communicating with anybody. So I don't know where we're going with this. I mean, I don't know if Victor's going to end up coming back on his own, or if they're going to catch him, or where this is all headed, but I really can't wait to find out. So, okay, I keep talking. I have so much more to say. So this is going to be the end of part 2. So stick around because I have a lot more, and there will be a part 3. Bye!